What's good with your people? Lord Tool back into his house. You know it, you know it. And this is Spec Ops, the line. It's free for PlayStation Plus subscribers. If you're not a PlayStation Plus subscriber, it is $40. And I wouldn't recommend because this isn't live right now. I played it, wanted to record it for y'all guys. My recommendation is the gameplay, the fluidity of it is fucking whack. I wouldn't spend $15 on it. Alright, so it is what it is. I'm going to delete it off my fucking hard drive as soon as I get done with this commentary. And that's that with that. And you can check it out. This might be your game style. I cannot stand having to do so many different buttons while I'm trying to shoot people. I just want to shoot. You know what I mean? And they want you to jump over shit, press X, do this. And you can't run with the L3 button on PlayStation. You got to hit X one time and you run. But when you're running, it wants to like move in its own direction. It's fucking stupid. And I started with multiplayer because then I could just check out the guns and the graphics and the gameplay. And I decided it wasn't worth playing the campaign. It's just not for me. I was excited because I thought it might have been a first-person shooter. I was like, what? Is this first-person shooter? And it wasn't. But anyways, I want to talk about something tonight, whatever, because it's 9:30 my time on the East Coast right now. Religion. And the reason why is because it's my channel and I enjoy talking about religion. I enjoy debating about religion. Sometimes I enjoy arguing about religion. Most of the time, the arguments happen when somebody's trying to tell me what I need to do. Because that's what God said, or that's what Jesus said, or whatever their religious beliefs say that I should do. And to me, you know, I'm not one to pass judgment, so I expect the same in return. That's all I ask. I shouldn't have to tell you what my spirituality lies and how I feel about the afterlife, because that's none of your business, you know. I understand that if you're a Christian or Jehovah's Witness, that you had to go and spread the word. That's the whole idea, to preach the gospel, yada, yada, yada. But this, once I kindly declined hearing about it, because I probably know more than you anyways, leave me alone about it, you know. Don't be like, why? Why don't you want to go to Jesus? Why wouldn't you want to give your heart? He can offer you very many things. You know, don't do that. It's not right. Because let me explain something to you. When you say the word Bible, I guarantee you, if you put 10 people in the room, 9, maybe even 9.5 of them people will say, when you ask them what's the first thing that comes to mind when you say the word Bible, 9 out of 10 will absolutely say Jesus, Christianity, anything in that, you know, just they relate to that. But when I hear the word Bible, I think of manipulated history, torture, famine, rape, contradictions, and the greed for wealth and the greed for hunger and power, and to control the masses through a positive way to how am I'm trying to say it without sounding stupid. The whole point in religion is political in a sense, because the idea of it is to control the masses so they can understand the moral value of life, so that way you are able to do what negative things that you want and not have any guilt about it. Because, see, the whole idea of Jesus, and I'm not saying Jesus wasn't a person, because he was a person. That's obvious, you know. But what my disagreement is that Jesus wasn't here to say that he actually was, you know, from heaven and that he is part of God. His thing is we're all part of God, and he is the same as us, and do not look at him any differently. That was the whole idea of it. He was trying just to say that just be humble as a human being and respect others as you would want to be respected. And that's gotten lost throughout history because people has taken that message and portrayed it to the way that they see fit that benefits themselves. Okay? When I started college a long time ago, one of the classes I had to take was New Testament and Old Testament, all right? And the teacher, the first day of class, he came in there, and this is exactly what he said to us. He said, I'm a preacher. I've been a preacher for 20 years. He said, so I want you to know right now, everything in this class that you're about to learn will contradict your beliefs if you believe in Christianity. He said, so you have to remain faithful. He said, everything I'm going to teach you is academic. And that got me thinking, if he knows that the Bible contradicts itself, then where does his faith come from? Okay, because everything that he knows about God and Jesus is what he was taught through the Bible and what has been told to him. It's not some divine power that becomes upon preachers and all of a sudden they know shit that nobody else knows. No, they're taught just like anybody else, any other schmuck. Anybody could be a preacher. Technically, and this is no bullshit, I could be a preacher because I took theology for 4 years. But all that being said, why is faith so much derived from a book and not as much from actual facts and proof? Whenever you tell us, like, it's hard to explain religion to people because they're so close-minded to anything else that comes their way. That's why scientists and the church has always disagreed with each other. Matter of fact, a little history lesson, that's what started Freemasonry, is because they were using symbols to communicate about science because it wasn't allowed in the church. And then the Catholics found out about it, and they pretty much were either killing them or running them off, and they became their own little organization, a secret organization, so they could talk science. Okay, you know, that's just a quick summary. There's a lot more to it than that, but you get the idea. It was all about science, and the church didn't like it. So why don't the church like science? Because the whole basis of science is facts, proof, evidence. You make hypothesis and you follow through with it and try to back up your ideas. And if you can't, you either quit or you go further and try to always back up your ideas, you know? That's like recently they've been finding out how many more galaxies are actually out there. It's unbelievable. There's stars that we're not even seeing yet, you know? Because it takes, you know, millions of years to see some of these stars. I mean, hell, some of these stars could already be burned out and we don't even know it, and we might not even know it for the whole lifetime of Earth. There's so much more than us, and to think that we are the center of everything just goes to show you how silly religion really is because that's what the idea is. If you think you're the center of the whole universe and the universes, then all that does is create a power trip for you, and you can control the masses with that, because you say, God has told me that this is what needs to happen. There's all them stars that he controls. If he can control all them stars and he has given me power, imagine what I could do. You get the idea? So that's exactly what it comes down to. And a country, and even though we are a freedom of religion country in the U.S., the fact is it is a Christian country. Look at the dollar bill. Whenever you go to court, what did they swear you in with? The Holy Bible. In God we trust. I mean, everything is, even basically the taxation system is based out of the Bible in some degree. Everything about it. What was George W. Bush saying? He was doing everything in the name of Jesus. And you know, that's what it is. When the president sworn in, he's sworn in under a Bible. So to say that we're a freedom of religion country is walking a fine line, because for the majority, Americans have a bad taste in their mouth for Muslims, which is very unfair, because Muslims are doing the same exact things and believe very similar to the Christianity religion. They just go about it in a different way, right? It's just like if you were cooking something simple like fried eggs, right? Well, the way I cook fried eggs may be different than the way somebody in California cooks fried eggs, right? So we're still making fried eggs, but it's just cooked differently. You get what I'm saying? This cultural. It has nothing to do with actual facts, because everything is for moral value when it becomes a religion discussion. It has nothing to do with a higher power. The reason why you want a higher power is because you want to feel like that there's a reason to live and there's a reason to succeed, because there's more and better after this life, because this life is so shit at times. I mean, you gotta admit, sometimes you wonder, when does it ever fucking end, you know? So you go to religion for it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And the way I stand with it is, if you feel that you have to question your faith, then there never really was enough evidence to have it in the beginning. Because if you have a newspaper in your hand and someone tells you you got a fucking cup of coffee, what are you going to say? No, I don't. I have a newspaper. You want me to whack you upside the fucking head with it? You know, it's the fucking newspaper, right? And that's the same thing as religion. I mean, just because you have a book in your hand doesn't mean that there's something that goes directing into it, and it's not something that people just fabricated to gain for themselves. You know what I mean? You could bury a lie, and in 2,000 years, somebody digs it up. They're going to look at it, and they're probably going to say it's the truth. You get what I'm saying? And that's all it is. And I don't want anybody to question their faith because of me. I'm just giving you my view. Because let me tell you something. It's good to have faith. Because I wish at times that a God could help me out. You know, and sometimes a lot of the positive things that come from people that are religious is because they're thinking in a positive way. And I still got a lot to learn. Because I need to start thinking more positive in my life. Because I do have a bad problem of if a person, you know, does something stupid to me one time, like, you know, they say, for example, hey, I'm gonna call you back in an hour, and I don't hear from them in 2 weeks. I take that kind of personal, and I use it to portray their personality, and I shouldn't do that. You know, you got to give people a chance, but I've been through a lot of shit in my life, like I said before, and it's hard for me to trust people at times. So I usually just assume the worst. I don't judge, I just assume, if that makes sense. You know, you could call it judging, but I call it assuming, because the way I see it is, until you can prove that you're a better person, then you're not, you know. And I'm no different. I like to keep promises. I do. Hey, let me tell you something. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. If I owe you money, I pay it back. If you owe me money, you better pay it back. You get what I'm saying? Because I expect the same thing in return. I'm that kind of person. Cut and dry. Like I always said, if I'm faking, I'm Clay Aiken. And that's the truth. Because I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat shit. You know, people will take advantage of you. And it's up to you to either be stepped on or, you know, push that motherfucker out the way and step on them. Because let me tell you something, it's a dog-eat-dog world. And I'm not saying don't be a positive person. What I'm trying to say is if you're a positive person and people are being negative, get rid of them. Because if you surround your whole life with positive people, nothing but positive results will come. If you surround yourself with negative people, nothing but negative results will come. It's actually common sense and logic. That's why if you get with somebody, if you have a girlfriend and she's doing crystal meth, 9 out of 10 times you're going to end up doing crystal meth, correct? It's the same thing. It goes with anything in life. And to me, that's the same thing as religion. You know, you lie with dogs, you get bit by fleas. And here lately, these motherfuckers and these power situations are now getting bitten by these fucking fleas. And there is a religion war. And that's the facts. And there always has been. Every war is based on sex and religion. That's it. And to me, that is the problem. You're taking religion and using it for use of power instead of using it for the use of what it was really for and what the idea behind it is, and that's for good. Because I don't know that the people that damn wrote these Bibles and these books inside the Bibles and the Quran, and I don't know if these people were evil or not. Because it's hard to say, you know? How do we know? How do we know? Because if God in the Old Testament says in the 10 Commandments, one of the first damn commandment is do not have any idols, images of him or anything, and then along comes Jesus and everybody's putting him to get to God. That's putting him before God. So to me, you know, that's like the devil saying, you know, if the devil was a demon with fucking horns and maggots coming out of his ears and cum dripping off his fucking cock that's 8 foot long and shit with a fucking tongue that hangs out to the side of his neck, Would you want to go to him, or would you want a nice, handsome man? Just think about it, guys. Like and subscribe, like always. And I love y'all motherfuckers because this is fun for me. You know what I mean? This is what I want to do. And I love it. And if you saw the gameplay, you saw that it fucking sucked. In my humble opinion. If you liked it, let me know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm deleting it. Holla!